Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second semi-final. We've already kicked off the day with 5 of our finalist teams pitching for a golden ticket through to our grand final, and you're joining us right now for our second semi-final. Before we dig into the fun stuff, I just want to stop and I guess show you a couple of pictures that hopefully look a little bit familiar. This first picture, I'd love for you to have a think about how old you were when you first saw this map. For me, I was in primary school and I remember furiously having to memorize the capital cities that went along with the states. I want to show you a second map now, and I'd love for you to think about how old you were when you saw this map. Interestingly, for me, it was much later. I think I was in my late 20s before I saw this. But ironically, this map is so much older than the first map that we saw. Today, we're going to talk a lot about innovation and entrepreneurship and newness. And I want to start today by acknowledging elders past, present and emerging. I'm coming to you from Brisbane, from Yagara and Turrbal land. And I think with innovation, what we have to remember is that great innovation comes from deeply honouring our past. And so that's where I want to start today, by honouring our Indigenous peoples and their contribution to our country and our future. Moving from there, I would love for us to talk about community and how we're building that today. Everyone's probably got one of these in front of us. Typically, if you're coming to us from a classroom, you're told to put these away. We would love for you to take them out, whether you're judging, whether you're watching from a classroom, or whether you're a proud parent about to watch your young person pitch today. We would love for you to get active on our socials. You can join us on our live stream at futureanything.com/livestream. You can also join us on Facebook or Twitter and Instagram with future_anything. We're also using the hashtag Bending the Future today. So we would love for you to take a photo of where you're watching us from, and certainly tweet along the day any encouragement of our teams as they pitch. Now we're coming to you tech through live stream today. Typically our events, when we get to this pointy part of our program, are delivered face to face. But we're coming to you via live stream, and sometimes when we're using tech, there can be a few complications that come our way. So I just want you to remember this unfortunate ice cream on the pavement if we encounter any tech issues today. Normally when I go into events, I expect at least 3 things to go wrong, and that way I get excited when 3 things go wrong because I've checked them off my list. If we encounter any tech issues today, we'll come back to you as soon as we can. So just stay tuned if that occurs at any point during our semi-final at the moment. But who are we? Who am I? Why are we here today? My name's Nick Dyson. I'm the founder and CEO of Future Anything. And before I was standing in front of your camera talking to you about young people pitching, I was a teacher in the classroom. And for me, as much as I wanted the classroom to be an exciting and innovative place where young people had the opportunity to engage in learning that helped them reach their potential, I sometimes felt like the classroom looked a little bit like this. And maybe that's your experience too. My favourite is the guy in the bottom right-hand corner. He looks like he's having a cracking day. But it was my experience with a Year 9 student whilst I was teaching in Brisbane, where he asked me why we were doing what we were doing, that had me question whether the curriculum that I was delivering in the classroom was providing the best opportunity for my young people to flourish. And that was the beginning of what the Future Anything program is today. And we work with young people to catalyse creativity and innovation and passion in order for young people to design innovative solutions to problems that they care about. I'd love to show you a little bit of what our students and our teachers have to say about engaging in our Activate program.
I don't think kids are listened to enough. They don't get much of a say in a lot of things.
We're growing up in a tech age where we have all these pressures of school, technology, and the whole society has changed.
It's all about our generation, it's our future, and how we want to implement our ideas into the future so it's a better place for us.
The Activate program gave us the opportunity to give students a real problem that they had to solve, then also give them a real environment to pitch their business ideas to, something that was difficult to achieve here at Sheldon College.
So in a normal class, we usually have a teacher and we learn about the knowledge and topic of that certain subject. But in a Future Anything program, it's really interesting because we get to analyse, we get to solve problems and solutions by re-evaluating, designing, thinking of ideas.
Because they get to choose their group and their idea, they have that passion towards it, so it's not a forced work environment. They actually want to achieve what they're achieving themselves, so they've got that self-motivation.
You learn that business isn't all about money. It's about how you drive positive change within communities.
So it gives us the chance to really capture what we want to do and what we want to solve in the world.
I think it's important for students to learn the skills of being challenged and having to come up with ideas, because they are life lessons that you'll need to learn throughout your life. So being able to learn them in a safe environment and have support from teachers and from courses, it just allows you to be assisted and learn these challenges now.
We don't always have these opportunities to speak in front of a large crowd or pitch our ideas to a panel of judges, so it was definitely a great experience.
I would definitely recommend Future Anything to another school, just in that concept of the program's there for you, ready to go, and you're able to tailor it towards whatever you need, and you don't have to keep relying back on making content yourself.
And it's also enabling my students to connect with mentors that we didn't know how we could connect with them in the past.
I would encourage people my age to be involved in the program, because it's something so different that not many people actually get to do at school.
Just give it a crack. Don't be afraid, just get involved.
Because it ends up being one of the best experiences I've ever had, honestly. It was amazing.
This year, we've had the pleasure of working with almost 50 schools around Australia, and across the course of 1 or 2 terms, our teachers take their young people on a journey from looking at who they are and what matters to them to solving problems that they care about. And regardless if our schools are jumping in through STEM, through geography, through health or through business, they answer this driving question in one form or another, and this will be the pitches that we're seeing today. So as an entrepreneur, pitch an innovative idea that makes the world a better place, and that's what we'll be seeing from our young people that are pitching today. These guys are the top 20 teams from over 200 young people that we had apply for a position within our Future Anything finals, and as we move through to our grand final, one team will secure the funding and support to take their idea out of the classroom and into the real world. How we do that is using our Entrepreneurs Odyssey, and we've sort of melded design thinking with our educator experience in order to create a journey for young people to take from looking at who they are and what matters to them to designing, I guess, an innovative solution that bends the future. Here at Future Anything, we believe that youth-led ideas have the power to bend the future, and we're passionate about creating opportunities for young people to develop the skills and get the support they need to do that. Now, we've had a couple of amazing winners over the last few years. Our winner from 2018 was an incredible young person, Tanika, who designed her own line of socks with proceeds going to Kids Helpline. These look like school socks above the shoe, but they've got these amazing graffiti designs underneath, and the premise of which is you don't know what's underneath the surface for a young person. Our winners from last year were Culture Hood, and these 3 incredible young people designed a line of hoodies that were inspired by Polynesian heritage, with proceeds going to support domestic violence initiatives, as they realised that this was something that was really important to them that they wanted to solve. The question for us right now is who's going to take out our 2020 grand final, and it could be one of the teams that we see pitching today. Now, the process for today is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to talk for a bit, I'll introduce our judges, and then we're going to have our teams pitch. Now, the process for the teams is they'll have 3 minutes and 3 minutes only to pitch, and then we will throw to the judges to ask a question. We might take a couple of questions from our judges, because today we're jamming 5 pitches in 60 minutes. So we're going to be fast and furious as we move through this agenda here today. Now, today's winner will actually get a golden ticket through to our national grand final. So at the end of today, our judges will actually deliberate and they will award a winner and a runner-up. Our winner will go through to our grand final, and we'll also have the opportunity to award a People's Choice, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, for us, we believe we're always getting better, and we're super keen for people like you who are watching today to provide any support or feedback to our teams to help them get better. In this way, we've set up a really simple form, which you can see the link on your screen right now. If you jump on there and you choose the team that you'd like to provide feedback, you can let them know the things that you love and the things that you would like for them to think about in order to make their idea better. We'll package all of that feedback for our teams and provide it back to them so that they've got the opportunity to improve their concept further and hopefully create a more sustainable, innovative and scalable business as a result of your input. Now, I talked about a people's vote before, and this one's super important. because the winner today, based on the judges' result, will go through to our grand final. But we are going to take a wildcard entry, and that wildcard entry will be taken from the teams that secure the most people's votes today. So at the end of our 5 pitches, we're going to throw a link to you, and you'll have the opportunity to pick the team that you loved the most from this semi-final. The team that amasses the most votes will go into a second chance draw in order to have the opportunity to pitch at our grand final next week. Now, we have 3 incredible humans here with us today to provide some support and do the difficult task of judging to pick a winner. I'd love to introduce them, and I'm going to throw to them in a moment. And guys, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about what you do. You've got I'm going to keep you to 1 minute to 2 minutes, but tell us a little bit of who you are and what you do. And I'd love for you to share with us what you're looking for in a pitch today. What's one thing that you'd really love the teams to focus on in order to convey to you something important? Luce, I might throw to you to start off with. Tell us a little bit of who you are and what you do and what you're looking for today from our teams.
Sure thing, Nick. So my name's Lucy, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEOs of Project Rocket, which is Australia's youth-driven movement against bullying, hate and prejudice, or at least that's what it is today. But when I started Project Rocket with my little sister, we were fresh out of school and just wanted to run some workshops in schools, that actually empower young people to address this issue rather than lecturing and terrifying. So fast forward, it has grown into a massive movement, but if anyone knows how great ideas can start in humble and small places, it's me. So what I'm looking for today is your connection, your authentic and real connection to the issues that you're trying to tackle. I wouldn't worry so much about being polished. It's about heart, to have the endurance to keep going through these times.
Thanks so much, Lucy. Really appreciate your perspective there. Usman, I'd love to hear from you. Tell us a little bit about you and Catalyzer, your incredible work there, and what you're looking for in a pitch today.
Yeah, thanks, Nick, for having me, and really excited to be here today. For me, so I'm the co-founder and CEO of Catalyzer, which is an incubator program supporting people from migrant and refugee backgrounds to launch their own startups. And the reason why we do that is because I come from a migrant background myself, and I saw there's this huge gap where there's a lot of migrants who come here, but unfortunately aren't able to find the right kind of employment. And so we said, wouldn't it be great if we help them start their own businesses as a way to employ themselves and also support their community? And so we've been running for 4 years and have done some good work. And I would love for you to sort of go and check out more details if you're interested in Catalyzer's website. So today, what we're looking for in terms of, in a pitch is storytelling, and particularly how this problem that you're sort of talking about and the sort of idea that you have, how does it connect to you and your personal story? So I would love to know more about that, because the ideas that we see become successful are often connected to you as an individual, and that you personally care about or that you have experienced.
Thanks so much. Last, certainly not least, Joel, tell us a little bit about what you do and what are you looking for today from our young people?
Hey everyone, I'm Joel. I work at Blackbird Ventures. We're a venture capital fund, which means we invest in startups. So we give people a whole bunch of cash to do really big and interesting things. We've got investments in space companies, in environmental companies, for example, some solar panels, or like clean meat. We've got printers that will print human cell structures. We've got all kinds of stuff. I'm here today to potentially find some things that we might invest in, which might sound weird because I know you guys are all in high school, but we love meeting people as early as possible, and we really, really believe in young people. So hopefully maybe today we'll see something that Blackbird might be interested in. Specifically, what I love to see in pitches like this is your passion and personal connection to the problem. And the reason for that is that to do anything really meaningful and to build anything meaningful, to solve a really important problem, it takes a bunch of time. And if you have a personal connection to the problem or to the issue, and if you're passionate about it, then that'll help you get through that long journey that is full of ups and downs. So if you show me that you just really love it, that'll impress me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love asking the judges what they're looking for in a pitch, because I think young people walk into an experience like this thinking that people are looking for an A-level pitch, like from school, that headspace around, I've got to get all the wording right, I need to have it memorized, and I can't have palm cards, and I can't stumble over my words, or and I need to be quite polished and robotic because that's what people are looking for. And I think what's really cool is I want to give permission to our pitchers today to be yourselves. And if you make a mistake, laugh it off. And because actually being an entrepreneur is about making mistakes and moving through that and navigating that process. So I want to reiterate what our judges have said and also let you know it's not about the polish, but it is about the passion and it's about you. So we're looking to see who you are. So do share that with us today. I'm super psyched for us to introduce our first pitching team for today from McGregor State High School. McGregor have been in our program for a number of years, and I know Adam's worked super hard on his pitch today. Adam, it's really tough to go first, but we're so excited to hear what you have to say. So mate, we're ready when you are. Good luck.
Remember back to when you received your first bicycle. It must have brought you a lot of joy. As with many, I know I'd be lost without the immense amount of freedom mine have brought me over the years. Now imagine if those two wheels could bring a whole lot of joy to a large, disadvantaged group of the community. For some 10,000 Logan children, those fun times and cool cruises are just imagination. But I want to change that. Next slide. Good morning. I'm Adam Merrill, the founder of social enterprise Recycle. I believe all children, regardless of wealth, family, race, or gender, should have access to a fun and useful form of transport and exercise. I plan to achieve this using my vast knowledge of bicycles, some community support, and a collaboration with the National Schools Chaplaincy Program. Next slide. The problem I'm trying to address is poverty. According to the APO, in 2019, some 774,000 children under the age of 15 lived in poverty. That is 1 in 6 Australian children. This is significantly evident in my hometown, where 7.9% of people are unemployed due to a lack of education, and 43% of children lack leisure equipment to stay active and socialize with others, and are excluded from a range of activities, which in turn will affect their mental health. If nothing is done to counter these issues, then young people will continue to have a limited access to education resources that will help them break the cycle. Next slide. My solution comes in several parts. The first of which is to source used and unwanted bicycles from the community by Facebook Marketplace, donations, my local council's recycling centre, and a collection point at my school. The second part is to restore 5 of the collected bicycles per month and sell them for around $100 each to the general public. This can sustainably be done by myself initially in my personal workshop. However, there is a currently unused shed at my school. There is currently an unused shed in my school which will provide home to my business and get my school community involved. Lastly, I've partnered with and will donate 1 restored bicycle a month to the school's chaplaincy program. We'll then distribute the bicycles to children in schools across Brisbane. I'm currently in communications with the Logan City Council and my principal to organise a discount for bike parts and to set up a collection point. And I've also conducted a survey among the target audience, 70% of which believe $100 per bike is a reasonable price. Next slide. When you invest in my business, you're improving the lives of children in need and bringing exercise, belonging, and mental health benefits to a disadvantaged part of Southeast Queensland. Next slide. One bike costs approximately $60 to restore, with a $20 initial purchase fee, $30 for parts, and $10 an hour for labour. This means it will cost me $300 to produce 5 bikes in a month. Revenue-wise, I'll be making $400 a month from selling 4 bikes, and when added to expenses, I'm left with $100 to purchase new bikes, and a profit of null going back into my business, with $50 labour going back to me. Those numbers may sound bad, but as soon as I double the amount of bikes I restore and donate and begin hiring people to work for me, I get a profit of $120, thus proving my business is sustainable and expandable. Next slide, please. In conclusion, I'm just another person with a big idea that can change the lives of many youths in Brisbane. With your help, I can make my dream a reality because an idea is nothing without action. Next slide. Thank you.
Amazing work, Adam. I love the evolution of your idea since you pitched at your school Shark Tank. So congratulations. I'm going to bring our judges into the room now to see if they've got any questions. And to roll off the questions, I will take the first judge to raise their hand. I'm going to throw to them. Oh, they're so polite, aren't they? Like it's fantastic. But Usman, I'm going to throw to you. Any questions for Adam?
Absolutely. I would love to know, why you got excited and interested in this sort of idea in the first place. So what was the sort of first reason that you got interested in this idea?
Well, I come from Logan, particularly Sachs Creek, and just every day when you leave home to go to school, you just see people doing it tough on the sides of the road. You might see some people getting up to no good. I just felt like that I have a passion for bikes, and maybe I can share that with people who are looking for employment and people who maybe have that same passion, but they want to get into it, kind of thing.
Great work, Adam. Joel.
Hey, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I've just got a really quick question. So I love the mission, and I love the way that you want to use like your passion and inspire that passion in other people, but then also with an activity that, gets them outside, keeps them busy, but teaches them something. I think that's super brilliant. One thing I want to know though is how do you think about how you could actually reach more kids, get more bikes? Like, is there some way other than just like hardcore cash that you think you'd be able to acquire more bikes and get them fixed up, or actually use your community to help you get them fixed up?
Well, I plan on, it's possible that I could probably, eventually provide training given, qualifications and things like that. And I was also working on partnering with like my local YMCAs and PCYCs to help, get more people involved and essentially advertise the business and also look at sales and things like that.
Awesome, cracking job, Adam. Thank you so much. Luce, we're going to throw to you as the first question for our next pitch, but I'd love to welcome, did I say yes, from Kildare College for our second pitching team for today. Sydney, we're super psyched to hear your pitch. We know that you've been working really hard since your regional final a couple of weeks ago. So we're super excited to hear your pitch and your idea and the evolution of that idea with your hard work.
Start, yeah. Okay. Yep.
We're ready when you are. Good luck.
Okay. Before I begin, I would like to recognise that this presentation focuses on a sensitive topic which may hit close to home for some of you. I would like to acknowledge sexual assault unfortunately happens to all genders. However, statistically, it more commonly occurs to women. You cannot change a person, but you can influence them in changing their choice. Next slide. While I'm talking to you, over the next 3 minutes, 7 women under the age of 16 will fear for their lives. This is a horrifying number. Next slide. Think of the girls that you know in your life. It might be a daughter, a niece, a close friend. The sad truth is, even today, in the 21st century, these girls are not safe, and statistically, they are more likely to be sexually assaulted than they are to be killed in a car accident. Next slide. Often after a girl is sexually assaulted, she is confronted with abusive questions like, what were you wearing? Why didn't you fight back? Did you say no? What were you doing there? He wouldn't do that. You just want attention. These statements do nothing but shift the blame onto the perpetrator onto the victim, as it allows perpetrators to avoid their responsibility so they continue committing this crime over and over again. Next slide. For this reason, 81% of women will not report being sexually assaulted until later in life, and many will never do so. This is so wrong. We can't just stand by and let this happen. Next slide. What if there was a way to influence someone at the point of perpetration to reconsider their choices, to rethink their decision before they sexually assault someone? When a woman's clothing is being removed, what if there was a moment of clarity for the perpetrator that created a point of decision, a point at which sense might prevail? Next slide. My idea is to give girls a simple tool in the fight to protect themselves, a circuit-breaking strategy that's implanted in their clothing. These may look like everyday jeans to you, but what if, when you tried to remove them, there was a message that could provide a point of protection for these women? Next slide. Within the jeans is a hidden label on the inside of the flyer which reads, "Did I say yes?" The label is big enough to catch attention, especially since it glows in the dark. When jeans are being removed, they do not just slip off right away due to the fact they become molded to our bodies. This will give someone enough time to recognise and read the label and possibly stop and reconsider what they are doing before things go further. You could save a daughter, mother, sister, friend, you. Next slide. I know that you know this needs to stop. Something needs to be different. If you purchase these jeans, it might just become your weapon to fight and stop sexual assault. I got the inspiration for my jeans from a social media platform called TikTok. I thought it would be a great idea for a business to cash in on a youth movement to make a real difference. Next slide. I'm here today requesting a $10,000 grant. This amount of money will cover all the required materials listed on the table, which will allow me to create a starting point of 100 pairs of jeans in phase 1. I've worked out all the expenses, totals, manufacturing, and even have those around me satisfied and keen to purchase these jeans. I will be making the jeans for $38.70 each pair and selling them on the market for $70. In theory, my wage would sit at $15 an hour. Next slide. I've also conducted a timeline which represents how everything will fall into place within a 6-month time frame. I'll begin a pre-sale campaign on Kickstarter.com and get orders through my school. That way I know exactly how many pairs of jeans and which sizes to purchase. If my idea were to develop into an up-and-running business, around phase 3 I would begin employing teenagers like myself in order to give them an opportunity, not just to earn money, but make a real difference in the world. Next slide. After the first phase, I hope to bring in new products which surround items like "Did I say yes" tags that include a powerful saying which you can sew into jeans or clothing items you already own. I would also like to introduce a product which is more inclusive towards men, as this happens to anyone, by anyone. Next slide. Even if the message in these jeans protects one single person from the sexual assault and trauma, it is worth so much more than the $10,000 that I could receive from this funding grant. You cannot change a person, but you can influence them in changing their choice.
Congratulations. That was an incredible pitch. I can see by the smile on your face that you feel like it went well. Good job. You can breathe now. I'm going to invite our judges back and throw to Lucy. Any questions for Sydney and on her incredible idea?
First of all, Sydney, I love your idea, and I want to name that I see your passion and your anger, and I feel it. I think you've hit on an issue that is, rife in Australian culture, and to see someone addressing this, is particularly within your peer group, I just think is so exciting. My question is about who you want to work with, who you think the clear enablers are in terms of, at one end it might be thinking about retail outlets to get this out there. On the other, it might be about thinking about education providers. How do you imagine kind of really amplifying the impact of this project by collaboration?
Well, my mum actually works within a sexual health industry, so I was wanting to work with that and get it promoted through that, so then people who have actually experienced it and understand everything going on can understand and purchase the jeans, and hopefully it will get promoted online, their programs and everything. But that's all I've really thought of for now. But yeah.
Great answer. Epic work. We're just going to have one question for Sydney today. So I'm sorry to Usman and Joel, but we will throw to you for the next one. Congratulations. That was an incredible pitch. And we're going to line up our next pitching team from Yarrabilba. Can we have Yarra Youngins on stage to introduce their concept to us today, which we're really excited to hear. Another team that had the opportunity to pitch at our regional finals. And Yarrabilba, this is their first year within our program. So pretty awesome to have a first year within our program and to have a team get the whole way through to semi-finals. Boys, how are we feeling?
Pretty good, eh? Pretty good.
Awesome. Well, you know that we love your idea and we're really excited to see a little bit of you and a little bit more about what you want to introduce to us. So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Our names are Tyson and Jack, and we have both been suspended from school at least once this year. We're here because it's never too late to make good choices, and we want to help kids like us. We're proud to say we've learned from our mistakes, inspiring others to do the right thing. Next slide.
We have a big problem in our local community, and they are teenagers smoking weed, hanging out at the park after school and getting into all sorts of trouble. This is a difficult problem to solve that requires more money and brainpower than we have combined. Next slide.
There is, however, a problem that we can solve, and that's the filthiness of teachers' cars at Yarrabilba State Secondary College. Next slide.
Today we present to you Yarra Youngins, cleaning the streets by cleaning cars. Next slide.
To get teens out of the park and provide a valuable service to the college community, we have developed a car wash here at school. Time-poor teachers will also appreciate having their cars washed while they work.
We wash teachers' cars for $20 after school. As we expand our customer base, we will hire our friends We will already have 5 people who want jobs. Our rules are that if you get suspended from school, they are also suspended from work. While we wash their cars, we have conversations that matter, so we can teach others that life is the sum of your choices. Next slide.
With the help of a local solicitor, we have organised a waiver for staff to sign, so we're protected from claims of damage.
We can scale up by capitalising on events like parent-teacher interviews and open days at the college to wash cars in the community as well. Long term, we want to sell franchises to schools all around Australia, cleaning their cars and their communities. Next slide.
What makes Yarra Youngins unique is that young people are off the streets and washing cars, and we give $1 for every car wash to Teen Challenge Brisbane, a job rehab facility for young people. Next slide.
We use only non-toxic, environmentally friendly car wash, and we wash cars on the grass. Next slide.
So far, we have run a pilot washing 5 cars and creating quality assurance checklists. We have also approached Toyota at Browns Range to get some work experience detailing cars, and we have an interest investor. Next slide.
To get our business off the ground, we are asking for $500 to buy products, register a business name and bank account, and offer FPOS payments using Squarespace. Next slide.
Please help the Yarra Youngins clean up the streets by cleaning cars. Thank you.
Great job, guys. Congratulations. I'll bring our judges back to the room so that they can ask you some questions. It's so awesome to see the evolution of ideas. That's the thing that excites me the most about watching these pitches, is seeing the work that you've done between your first pitch to today. So incredible work. Joel, do you have a question for the boys today on their idea?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, like, amazing job, I think, giving people a bit of purpose in life and giving them agency and, meaningful kind of role in their community is super great. So well done there. All I want to know is, like, I think it's really great that you ran some customer tests and you went out there and, you did 5, you said. What were the results from that? Were people happy with the wash? Were they happy with paying $20? Would you consider moving the price up or down? Like, what did you learn from that exercise?
I reckon $20 is a perfect amount. They really like that amount because it's just $20, not like 15, so they need 2 notes. It's easy to carry around. And they really like the wash that we did because we did 2 people on each car.
Cool.
Cracking job. Usman, a question for the boys.
I love what you're working on, so well done as well. I would love to know, if all of this goes well, how many cars would you be washing, on a daily basis, and like, what does that look like with other people in terms of job creation and so on? Like, have you sort of done some of the thinking on, like, the scalability of this idea?
Well, depending on how many people we have working with us, we could wash up to 5 cars every 2 hours.
Cracking job, guys. Well done, Yarra Youngins. You pitched really confidently and a really strong concept. We're going to wriggle along now to our 4th pitching team for today. From Mercy College, we've got Hart lined up. These guys have also been working really hard since their regional final a couple of weeks ago. So super psyched to see how they go today. Now, we are ready when you are ready. Good luck.
All right, thank you. Trigger warning, mentions of depression and mental illness. Next slide. 1 in 5 or 20% of people experience a mental illness each year, and almost half of Australians experience a mental illness during their lifetime, the most common being depression, anxiety, and substance use disorder. As someone who has and is dealing with negative mental health, I can say from experience that the most terrifying part is how you bottle up overwhelming and hurtful emotions. Next slide. I didn't tell anyone how I felt, terrified I'd be seen to have something wrong with me. My condition deteriorated rapidly into depression because I didn't know how to respond to my symptoms or cope with the effects. Next slide. When I did seek help, I found that the coping mechanisms I had been recommended had little or no effect, leaving me feeling unfixable, a very damaging mindset. I have always enjoyed art, but rediscovered artistic creativity as an outlet for my complex emotions, drawings being so much more than just lines. Art continues to be my greatest coping mechanism, becoming not only my passion, but my safe space. I strongly believe that without art, I would not be here today. Art therapy is the use of artistic methods to treat psychological disorders and enhance mental health through the creative process. This is extremely important for those who are scared or hesitant to go to a psychologist, as this is a more private option. Art therapy also builds confidence and stimulates fine motor skills.
Next slide, please. Heart, our social enterprise, aims to expand art therapy to art supply boxes.
Excuse me, teachers and students, could Nick Cameron report to the House Coordinator's office, please? Nick Cameron, thank you.
As an outlet and positive coping mechanism for individuals experiencing the deterioration of mental health. Our product is deceptively simple. Every box from Heart contains a variety of quality art supplies in order to support each consumer's preferred artistic medium. As the current slide shows, you can see our points of difference compared to our top 2 closest competitors. Our website is accessed through a QR code from our product packaging to provide tutorials from local artists and project inspiration. Next slide, please. As our business grows, we will expand our product line and provide more specific boxes for different art styles throughout Australia. Next slide, please. This timeline is achievable as we have costed our products and understand our profit margin, which means our product is sustainable and scalable. Each consumer is encouraged to create unique artwork to express themselves and their innermost thoughts and feelings. We will enable the sharing of these experiences through #Heartwork on social media. Next slide, please. From each purchase through Heart, you are directly supporting the vulnerable in society. Our product has the potential to support and improve lives with an estimated 40 minutes of guided therapy from each Heart box. This means a potential of 100,000 minutes of art therapy, which is our aim by 2025. Next slide, please. We are currently in communication with local enterprises, the Mackay Artists Collective and Creative Inc. to explore artist collaboration, marketing and distribution options.
By now you have understood why we are so passionate about our boxes. However, we can only create impact with proper funding.
$500 is what we need to produce our first trial of 20 boxes to distribute in the local Mackay community.
We understand how so many Australians feel. Next slide. Heart is a product that we wanted to exist when going through difficult times. We want to make Heart a reality with your help to support individuals Australia-wide. Thank you.
Excellent work, team. Heart, that was such a strong pitch, and I can see you've done incredible work since the regional finals. I'll welcome our judges back to the room, and I'll kick off with Lucy again, if you've got any questions for the girls on their idea.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the capacity for creative arts and creative practice to be really healing for people. So congratulations on the innovation behind this project. I'm really intrigued because obviously there's a lot of conversation happening at the moment with COVID and the pandemic and social isolation around mental health, and it's definitely huge on the public agenda, which is great. I'd love to get a sense, what opportunities do you see to use the kind of public surge of awareness to your advantage? Why might now be a really helpful time for something like this? How could you make the most of it, given COVID and the pandemic?
Well, considering everybody's stuck at home at the moment, it's a really accessible kind of service for people to be able to just grab something that they don't have to go and risk their lives to go seek therapy. Whereas in the comfort of your own home, you have this kit that can help you with meditative effects, and you've got this amazing opportunity to help your mental health that is accessible, especially at this time. We could use COVID as a way to amp up our advertisement and try and prove to people that this is a viable option and that you should be using this. If it helps, then yes, you should definitely give it a try.
Great job, girls. Usman, question from you.
Well done. It's fantastic to hear about the work you're doing. Yeah, I'm also interested in knowing, have you sort of done some of these art therapy work so far, and any results that have come out of that?
Yes, well, you see, we only need $500 to complete our first trial of 20 art boxes, which we will give to the community, and we will use their feedback to further develop our business.
And I can say from experience that art has helped me so much, and I know other people that can definitely say that, look, art is so helpful. It's just one of those things that can help somebody just connect with themselves slightly, be able to explore who you are inside in a way that is creative, and it gives you something out of it. You achieve something that you are proud of and you're proud of yourself, as well as exploring your emotional state. It's really good. I've done quite a lot of art, I've got quite a lot of artwork, and yeah.
Great answer, girls. Thank you so much. We are going to gear up for our last pitching team for this semi-final. And so we're going to welcome Page Pals to our virtual stage from Ferny Grove. And we're really excited for you guys to close out our second semi-final today. Ready when you are, guys?
Good morning. My name is Peyton Neal, and my social enterprise is Page Pals. My idea sourced from an idea that was heightened in my awareness during the COVID-19 crisis. During lockdown, I watched some of my closest friends' mental health deteriorate rapidly, and I wanted to find any way to help possible. So I started to research, and it turns out that reading regularly helps with mental health. The more I read on, the more curious I became by it. I myself am quite a passionate reader, so much so that you would rarely find me without my head in a book. And with the issue identified, I went and brainstormed ways to combine my love of reading and helping others facing what my friends were going through. This is how Page Pals was born. My social enterprise, Page Pals, will aim to assist anyone with mental health illness and try to help them through difficult times. By providing a place where people can come and talk, I hope to create a safe and secure environment for everyone. Next slide, please. What is the problem? Mental health is everywhere in the world, with conditions like clinical depression, anxiety, panic attacks, bipolar disorder, hearing voices, loneliness, compulsive disorder, paranoia, and many more. According to leading scientists, 1 in 5 children from the age of 13 to 18 will have a serious mental illness. Next slide. What is the business? Page Pals aims to raise an awareness of mental health. And it is an online service that provides books for hire on an app. Page Pals will seek to find volunteers to drop off the books you hire. Also, Page Pals will organize a fortnightly meetup for people who register on the app. This provides an opportunity for people who read similar books or hobbies to meet. Research shows that people who interact with others have improved mood and better health. Next slide. How does reading affect your mental health? Did you know that reading for just 6 minutes a day can lower your stress levels by 68%? According to scientists, it has been shown that reading puts our brains into a state similar to meditation and brings the same health benefits of a deep relaxation and inner calm. Next slide. Advertising and marketing. One of the key elements of Page Pals is to be surrounded by people who are going through the same issues as you. When someone has mental illness, they feel like they're all alone in the world and they don't want to talk to anyone about it. With Page Pals, we'll be there for you even when you don't think you need someone. Page Pals will team up with guidance counselors located at schools to bring awareness of the program. Another way to create awareness and get more books would be to partner with bookstores. In exchange for advertising for their brands, they may provide cost-efficient books. Next slide. To start my business, I'll need an initial investment between $6,220 and $11,400. This money will cover all the costs which are included in an app, which includes creating an app, 300 books to start the business, and enough money to hire a venue for the weekly get-togethers. Next slide. Mental health is a serious issue, and Page Pals will be there to assist anyone who needs help. By providing a safe environment to come and talk to people and a place to escape the world we live in today, Page Pals will be there for you even when you don't think you need someone. Just remember, on difficult days, when the world is on your shoulders, remember that diamonds are made under the weight of mountains.
Excellent work, Peyton. To close off our second semi-final for today, how are you feeling now that you've gotten through that? A little bit better? Excellent. Pitched strongly. I'm going to welcome our judges back into the room now to see if they've got any questions for you. And I might kick off with you, Joel. Any questions for Peyton on Page Pals?
Yeah, well, first of all, Peyton, great one. Excellent pitch. And especially I like how you moved on past that little disruption at the beginning. That was, as far as pitching skills, well done. I've more got a challenge for you, and I hate to put you on the spot, but, you know, to get started there, your money to get started was quite significant. I'm just wondering if you can think of any ways that you could get started really small, say without an app and with some free books and maybe like a Facebook group, so that you can prove that, you know, that what you think is actually real and that people will, you know, benefit from reading and from doing it within a community.
Yes, I have started thinking about that, and I've been emailing people who can help me with the idea on finances and help me with getting books that might be more benefactory and not as costly originally. And also I can try and get secondhand books from secondhand stores that might be still in good condition but might be more cost efficient. And I've also been in touch with the Brisbane City Council about them offering ideas of where we could do the meetups and then try and figure out a way to cost that.
Amazing. I'd lead with some of that stuff. So from an investor's perspective, we love to see how you're trying to get a move on and start doing something before you actually try and raise money. So all of that is really great. I would have put that in your pitch.
Yeah, I was going to, but I ended up cutting it because I thought it might take it too long.
Yeah.
We make them get a lot of information in a really short period of time.
Totally.
Any questions from you for Peyton?
Yeah, first of all, just your passion's incredible, and yeah, congratulations on getting up there and yeah, absolutely smashing that. My question is around kind of community engagement, and kind of jumps off the back of Joel's a little bit, but if there have been organizations or people within the community that you think you've identified that could be really helpful in getting your project off the ground?
Yeah, I do have some ideas, but I'm still in the process of trying to find people that would partner up with a new business. So because
Your library school council?
Yeah, my library school and the school councils. I'm organizing and emailed schools lately about trying to team up with the school guidance counselors to bring awareness of such a place, and getting people who want to have places they can go and talk to people and make new friends and meet people outside of school. Then yeah, I don't know.
Great job. All right, well done, Paige Pals. You can breathe a little bit easier now, and we're going to boot our judges out of this conversation so that they can do the tough work of picking a winner in their own private room. Guys, keep it civil, no physical violence allowed, and good luck making a tough decision with the time that you have. And guys, everybody at home, we would love, and at school and at work, wherever you're tuning in from, we would love your help actually. At the beginning, we talked about our teams always getting better. And so if you've got a moment right now while we wait for our judges to return, we'd love for you to provide some feedback to our teams. You can do so by jumping on this link here, futureanything.com/semi-finals-feedback. And there's a couple of just really quick questions where you can pop stuff in there. And that might be connections that you can make for the teams in order to help them leverage or amplify the ideas that they have. Now, I know everybody is waiting quite acutely and with bated breath for the link that you need for the people's vote. So that link is going to be on your screen right now. Now, how this works again, just to reiterate, is that the team that our judges pick as the winner goes straight through to our grand final. But the 4 teams, 1 from each semi-final, that is the people's vote winner, goes into a second chance draw. And one of those 4 teams will also go through to our grand final. So backing your favorite, and also for our teams, getting lots of people to jump in and vote for you might see, if you're not crowned the winner, you move through to the grand final in the wildcard entry. So we're going to pop some music on now. We're going to take 5 or 6 minutes while our judges deliberate for you guys to cast your vote for your favourite team from our pitching today, and also to provide some feedback if you have the opportunity to. So we'll put some tunes on. We'll see you back in about 6 minutes or so. Feel free to share that link around and rally support for your favourite team too. We'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, everyone. If you remember that slide at the beginning of our session today that had the ice cream splat on the bitumen, we've had that situation with a couple of our teams not featuring on that People's Vote link. So what we're going to do is, we don't want to disadvantage anyone who wasn't on that link when it first opened. We're actually going to leave the People's Vote open for the next 30 minutes so that teams have an opportunity to tap in and have their supporters vote. And what we'll do is we'll announce the winner of this People's Vote at the end of our next semi-final. We'll obviously also notify our teams as well, but in the interest of equity and negotiating this little technical glitch, we want to make sure that all teams have the opportunity to amass the votes they need for that wildcard entry. So voting for that will be open for the next 30 minutes. and then we will announce at the end of semi-final 3, which will finish at 1 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we'll announce at the end of that final the winners for this particular people's vote. Now, we have our judges back with us, so I'm going to invite them back into the room. And Joel, I think, is going to let us know how the judges went with choosing a winner and a runner-up today. I can't see any visible scratches or wounds, so it seems like everything was done quite civilly in the background by our judges. But Joel, if you could announce the runner-up first, and welcome to give some commentary around that, and then the winner, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so, well, it was controversial. We went in and everybody at first had a different favourite. And, you know, we peeled through almost every single one and could see the benefits and the, you know, the brilliance in all of them. So it was a difficult decision, and we had to ask extra time, and we only got there in the last like 10 seconds. So it was down to the wire. So runner-up, without further ado, we decided to award the runner-up to Heart. So congratulations. So what we love about this one, we absolutely love, and we all really believe in the power of art to, you know, improve mental health outcomes and to help people just be happier and more fulfilled in their life. So that was like a cornerstone of it. We also loved the bravery and your honesty and your personal connection to the problem. I thought that was personally quite brave of you standing up there and owning that, and you know, and making your story a part of the story of Heart. Where we want to challenge you a little bit though, and push you to try and think, you know, how you could get this started quicker. You pitched quite a lot of money to raise to get started, and I would argue that you could actually get started now with 3 to 5 boxes for nothing, and you could send those out, ask people how it goes, measure it to see that, you know, it's working, improve the quality of those boxes iteratively before you even raise $1. You could go to Bunnings and get a free box. You could ask people to donate some art supplies. So yeah, anyway, congratulations, Heart. And the big winner, this one was, this was super tough because there were so many that we loved. But the overall winner we decided is going to be Recycle. Yeah, so, and there was a bunch of reasons for that, but primarily we just loved how like your focus on being able to do something that you could actually get started on right away, and that you could have impact on immediately in your community. Many of the others were pitching large amounts of funding to get started, and there were all these barriers to entry, but just simply loved how you've come out there and gone, what skills do I have and what am I passionate about? How can I use those instantly to get started? And it wasn't, you know, about, you know, buying like expensive bike parts and assembling them. It was how can you hustle and find like cheap used bikes and make them better for people. But the brilliance that we saw in it that you kind of touched on, that I think will unfold as you go on, is that you could also use, like, as well as giving bikes to people and using that as a vehicle for them to be able to, you know, find their own passions and get off the street. You hinted at this, the idea that you could also pass on your skills to other people. And we had this like amazing idea that you pull people together in your community, and you're not only helping them to get bikes, but you help them to acquire the skills to fix their own bikes. And then we imagined, like, you know, if you keep going down this path, this whole army of people in the community looking to get little bikes from all over the place and spare parts, and working together on the weekends to build new bikes and selling those and giving them to charity. And if your aim is to get people off the streets and to give them purpose and keep them out of trouble, you know, there's no better way than to give them, you know, a skills, set of passion and a bit of purpose, and ultimately a bit of money. So we loved yours for the ease that it could start, but also the promise that it has moving forward.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel? You're through to the grand final.
Oh, it's just, you know, just stoked. I've worked hard on it. You know, it's been a great journey, and I'm glad that I can be where I am. And, you know, it's cool that an idea that I've had can turn into so much so quickly.
Well done. Very great job. So that is now 2 teams that are through to our grand final off the back of our 2 semi-finals. Before you guys disappear, I just want to say a huge thank you to our 3 judges for giving up your time in order to, you know, support our young entrepreneurs and their ideas. So Usman, Lucy and Joel, we really appreciate you stepping up and helping us bend the future with our youth-led ideas. So thank you.
Thank you. What an honour.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just want to pass on like such a sincere congratulations to everyone who got up and pitched today. You are, my cup is full, and the work you're doing is so incredible. So don't let this be the end for you.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Luce. All right, legends, that's fantastic. Just a reminder, 2 things. 1, our people's vote for this round will be open for the next 30 minutes. So please refresh your browser and you'll see all teams there. Obviously, we know that Adam and Recycle are through to our grand final, but there's still an opportunity for one of our other amazing pitching teams from semi-final 2 to get through on a wildcard entry. So take the time to do that. Secondly, if you've got feedback for our teams, please do jump on our feedback page and let them know, because our guys are keen to get better. And I know that they'll relish the opportunity to dive into your feedback and also dive into the things that you loved as well. Thirdly, we are halfway through our semi-finals. We still have 2 more to go. So if you loved what you saw in this hour, we would love to see you join us in half an hour for semi-final 3. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for supporting youth entrepreneurship in schools and providing us the opportunity to share with you the great work that young people are doing in classrooms around Australia.